Hey everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Snowrunner. I appreciate you watching. We've got a lot to cover in this video, so I'm going to go straight out with the Chevy CK1500, and we're going to find a couple of watchtowers to begin the game with. In the last episode, we got a few of the upgrades that are available in this area, but I thought might as well get a few more since we're starting out in this map and actually starting out in the game, so any upgrade that we can get will help us for sure. So we're going to go right here, and this part is a little tricky, but since we have upgraded tires and our trusty winch here that we could use whenever we feel a little stuck, thought maybe we could go ahead and get some of these upgrades that are on this side of the map and kind of spot out some of the things that we might need to take care of to start out. Been playing some Fallout 4, Fallout 3, and I want to make sure that I'm updating Snowrunner also. So a couple of the things that we could do to start out are things like bridges that are down. I think there is a power line that is down that we can take care of, but we're going to need a little bit of scouting done beforehand. Just make everything a lot easier, for sure. We went this back way, and it's going to take us straight to the gas station up here, which we'll be able to unlock a couple of tasks just by being near the gas station. This task is one of those. Let's see what it says. New objective discovered, missing oil tank. Got spotted trouble here, pal. We have an oil tank trailer that's gone missing. Pretty sure it got washed off the road somewhere, and it's probably stuck in a swamp by now. How about lending a hand? Get $2,400, 280 XP. Let's go ahead and accept that. And might as well fill up while we're here, even though we didn't do a whole lot of traveling. We also have this trailer here. Don't think we get XP just by discovering it just yet. So hopefully the game runs a little bit smoother. I did notch down some of the graphics just because we were getting a little bit of stutter in the last episode. And I'm still working on getting my microphone to work better so that it doesn't sound like I'm in a cave or something whenever we talk. Alright, our first upgrade is going to be down this hill, but before doing that I want to get the watchtower. You can see it straight over that mountain up there. And we'll uncover a bridge that needs to be worked on. This one right here. New objective discovered, mountain bridge. These rock slides are becoming the bane of my life. We need to create alternate routes around the area to avoid these slides. Our operations are going to grind to a halt. A mountain bridge would solve this. Get $1,850, 260 XP. Let's look at the details of this. Okay, we need 1 order of metal beams, 2 of concrete blocks. And concrete blocks we can only get at the warehouse. But there's actually a trailer over here that has 4 loads of concrete block, so we could use that to fix this bridge. Let's go ahead and accept that. We'll come back to it. Let's go up this little side area and unlock the first watchtower. And instead of backtracking down that way, let's keep going forward and see if we can unlock another upgrade or watchtower in this area. Thank you for your feedback and comments in the last episode, and all the episodes have been uploaded. They've been helpful. Notice we damaged our vehicle by 2 right there. Damaging your vehicle is something that you need to pay attention to, but it's not of crucial importance unless you damage your suspension big time, or your oil tank, or your fuel tank. Watchtower open, launch observation. If you damage your fuel tank enough, you'll not be able to hold fuel, and it will start leaking. You'll have difficulty getting back to the gas station. Let's look at our map. Looks like we uncovered King of the Hill since getting that watchtower, and also a couple of the areas around the warehouse, including that missing oil tank that we just read the description for. So what we'd like to do is take this road down here, make our way around, look at this roadblock, and discover this watchtower right here. So if you damage your suspension, you can get around with it if it's severely damaged, but it's just a pain in the butt. So while we're going to be a little bit easier on damage to the vehicle, you know, you can just be riding around the road and one rock damage your suspension by 1 or your wheels by 12. I mean, it happens. And I don't want us to slow down any because of that, but unless it becomes a big problem. So I'm not going to be as cautious about that kind of stuff as it was in the first episode. Since we last updated the series, Snowrunner has gone through at least 4 or 5 updates that have helped the game out tremendously, including adding another map that's pretty awesome, and it continues to be updated. So if you haven't got this game yet and want to buy the season pass with it, you really do get your money's worth with the season pass. So straight up ahead is the watchtower we're going to go to, but let's see what this area up here has. I think it was the roadblock that we're going to discover what it means. Damage 1 suspension. That's kind of what I'm talking about. This one random block in the road. Rocks? Again? Seriously? Come on. Do me a favor and handle this, will you? The details. We need 2 service spare parts, which also you can get at the warehouse. If you zoom out your map, any area that has these yellow up diagonal things, those are saying that you can get what you need there at that particular area. So we know that there is a trailer that has service spare parts there, and a trailer that has one there also. Just a little FYI. So we'll go ahead and accept that. We'll get $1,650, 170 XP for finishing that. Let's back up. And we're going to go find that watchtower. That's going to give us a good look at the area. And then I think we'll just have 1 watchtower remaining. So let's make sure we're going the right way. We actually need to go back. Although if we do go this way, you can bypass the roadblock, and there's actually a road that we could take. So let's go ahead and take this way anyway. So, but I've spent a lot of time finishing this map and all of Michigan, and have that 100% complete, and have the same with Alaska and just playing on my own time. But I've been working on Russia, and that is a whole nother can of worms right there. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to play that with you, but it's going to be challenging for sure, but doable. So we spend a whole lot of money just like putting little stuff on this particular truck, and I think the GNC also. So I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with spending because you just get a limited amount of money, and I want to make sure we're using it the right way. So if we go up this way, it's going to lead us to this next one. And that should just leave 1 more on this part of the map. we'll take a look at it. Watchtower open, 50 XP, wooden bridge discovered. Awesome. So if we look at our map, have a better look at the roadblock there. Got the wooden bridge that we looked at. There's an upgrade. And it looks like there's a car or a truck that we can get. Kodiak 670. It's a Chevy. So we could always use another truck. If you zoom out a little bit more, you can see that this is the only remaining watchtower on this side of the map. So once we get it, we'll have this one and this one remaining. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Somehow back our way down this hill without flipping. Possible. That'd be great. Yeah, we're gonna have to ask you to come in on a Saturday. Please don't flip. There we go. Now we're back on the main road, and we should just be able to go left here, past this circle area, and get this next upgrade, or watchtower, I mean. By doing this, you can see what upgrades remain. So it's really handy to go ahead and scout out the map when you first get to it. It might not be what you want to do. You might just want to go ahead and start moving stuff, but it's definitely handy for sure. So the truck that we saw was back there. We'll get to that probably in the next video. Once I get all the watchtowers, you get the 2 cars that are free to get once you pull them out of wherever they are. So I might get the 2 cars in the next video and the remaining upgrades, and then we'll start moving stuff. Sounds like a good game plan. Because we'll be able to get some money, quick money, once we get started moving stuff. I think we're down to like $350. Something silly like that. Alright, so we're on the main road again, and the watchtower's to your right. So it's truck parking. It's that way. See it up on the hill? There's that one. It looked like there was an animal right there that disappeared very quickly. So occasionally you'll see a wolf, or actually I've only seen a wolf, and it's like a cardboard cutout for a few seconds. It appears and disappears. It's a little Easter egg. This is overshot it just a little bit. Up that hill is where we need to go for this watchtower. And eventually there will be some blocks here that we'll have to use a crane on for one of our contracts. So it's not this one that we're taking, it's the second one. Not mistaken. Let's double check that. This one. That. So it's handy occasionally to mark out where you need to go on your map, so that you're not driving, end up in the wrong spot, or have to backtrack through some crazy mud. I mean, this game is really pretty. Love the way that the sign beats down on it, so that's pretty cool. Alright, this is the last watchtower in this area. So we got meteorology data and local entertainment unlocked on this. It looks like there is a trailer scout bed trailer that we can pick up too. Let's look at our gas tank. We're doing pretty good. Got 57 liters of 80. So let's go ahead and go down this way, which is not the way we came, but it'll take us out to close to where that scout flatbed is. Should be handy to pick up. So it has 2 loads of brick on it. Let's look at our map. If we just go straight to the right, we'll be able to get to it. You can kind of see it by that shed right there. But it's super thick mud around this area. Be a little cautious, and if we feel like we're running out of fuel, might have to cut bait and come back to it. Of course, it is getting pretty late in the day. We might have to call it a day on this one. Fast forward to 6 a.m. in the morning just to see it a little better. Isn't even close. There we go. I've got 2 loads of brick with that. Best bet is to go right here and to circle around. That way you don't have to go too far back uphill and use a whole lot of gas trying to get there. Regardless, we can use the brick on one of the tasks and sell the trailer once we're done with it. So I think that's like $3,000 plus the ability to use the trailer. I mean, to use the brick. So it's definitely worth it. Considering now that we've gotten all 3 of the watchtowers in this area. So we're just going to go up here and around, and we'll go back down this area. And we might actually leave the trailer around this area because we know we're going to come back to it, especially if we're running low on gas. Gotta be mindful of that. And let's go ahead, and it's getting late in the day, about 6 a.m. or p.m. So let's go ahead and fast forward to morning time. See, that would have been 8 p.m., not 6, sorry. I love military time. Okay. I'd love to know your experience with this game. To me, it's like playing Dark Souls if Dark Souls was a driving game, because it can be brutal at times. You play just fine for hours and end up to a spot where you flip your truck over, you try to bring another truck to save that one, and it flips. It's just a comedy of errors at times. So, with playing this game, it saves automatically. There isn't like a quick save button. So I'll have to do my best to not flip it. But my goal is not to cover the vehicle if possible. We'll see how it goes. Might have to at some point. I'm just going to go down this hill and to the left. One of the things I wish you could do in this game is, when you're creating the path to drive, is to be able to put it directly on the road and it not just be lines. Sometimes that doesn't work for you. Almost over this. I try to not go directly down into that mud pit there. Play a little bit safer if possible. You can cross that water right there, but not in this vehicle. Not at least if you are carrying a load of brick with you, like we are right now. Back to the main road. We'll just follow this down to where, I hate those things. I wish they were not in the road. especially once you knock them over the first time. They keep getting put up. You don't see anybody else around, and it just magically gets put up. That's alright though. Adds to the little difficulty of the game, which I think that draws a lot of people to this game. Not only getting to drive around and it being peaceful at times, but also the difficulty of it. It's kind of like a badge of honor. Hey, I played Snowrunner and got this far. You know, a lot like the Souls games. It's a lot easier going downhill with these bricks than uphill. That's for dang sure. It's sliding a whole lot. We will pass the gas station, so if we can get back up this hill and get it back on the main road, I'd feel better about it, but it won't be too bad if we can't do it. My plan for the Chevy back there is to bring a maintenance trailer and to fix it and put gas in it. That way it'll be easier to get back to the garage to use, but we'll probably do that in the next video. That along with the Scout 800. And that will be all the extra trucks that you can get on this first map. And we talked about just doing the first area of Michigan first before going into Smithville Dam, but a lot of the missions have us going into Smithville Dam, so I'm just going to consider Michigan to be one full map. So if we need to go to Smithville Dam or any of the other two parts of Michigan, that'll be okay. So that's kind of the game plan. We'll finish Michigan, then go to Alaska, and then to Russia. But let me know your thoughts, your feedback, some tips or hints that you found to be helpful along the way. I think we're all wanting a good way to complete this game to the quickest and best ability. And they can play co-op and play with some friends, and that might help a lot. But if you're just playing solo, what's the best way to complete this game? And after spending over 100 hours in this game, I'd say tackling the watchtowers and upgrades first are going to help you, but it's not necessary if you know the map pretty well. But since we're recording this and I want this to be accessible for everyone, I think it'd be good to go ahead and do that, especially since you could follow along gameplay. That's what I really want, is if someone is wanting to use this as a option to know how to beat the game, that would be excellent. So we're taking advantage of our range there and get over this hill. And once you're on the main road, make sure to take off your low gear, especially if you have diff lock, because it can damage your suspension chassis, so you want to be careful about that. Go ahead and look at our map. We're going to go this way. We could cross like we did earlier. That might be the best way so that we can get back. Should we have the bats? Tell you what, let's just go this way. That way we can pick up the upgrade while we're here. And before doing that, I'll get that upgrade too. So let's go down to the end of this. We do have 30 liters of gas, so we might need to wait on getting that upgrade. And possibly just take this back as far as we can, and then cut bait go to the gas station, fill up, get that upgrade, and then pick up the other upgrade so that we don't risk running out of gas. We'll do our best, you know? Although there is a gas tank. What am I saying? Let me park this right here. Nope, not starting. There we go. There's a gas tank down there that we could use. So we can go ahead and get the upgrade up here. Be okay. Glad I thought of that. Okay. And it looks daunting going down that hill and across the river to get that island, but it's not too terribly bad. It's definitely manageable. So we're gonna go right about there. And the game usually knows when you're about to have to do something a little bit trickier because the rain starts. This is the path I normally take. It's worked out for me. Usually cut to the right here. Kind of skirt around the edge here. Now you do want to be careful about what angle and where you cross at, because even if you cross like right over in here, you can find a spot that just doesn't work. So the water's pretty high there. You kind of see it's a little bit better right straight ahead. So let's try that. Like so. There you go. Let's see what upgrade we get. Get a SI6B 2100T engine, and this is for the GMC and Fleet Star. And now it's available for purchase on both of them. So you get an upgraded engine for those two trucks, which is well worth it. So let's try to go back the way we came. If you don't choose the right angle, you can get stuck in that area pretty easily and waste a whole lot of gas. See, it's not as daunting as it looks. Not too bad. We'll try to go back the way we came. Like I said. It's as simple as that. One less upgrade to get to. So I'm almost certainly just going to do get back to the garage, and in the next episode try to get the two trucks that are out that we could get for free, and possibly get the two watchtowers that are remaining. We'll just kind of see how we are once we get this upgrade, and try to get the bricks and the trailer back. One thing to note, this hill is pretty steep. We have a lot of turns and stuff, so it's not the best to go down with like a heavy load or a long load. You know, later on you have to carry this huge oil thing, and this looks like it's the safest and quickest area, and it might be the only way that you can go because it has to go out to the drilling site. But trust me, it is. There has to be a better way to get to that area. It's going down this hill and these steep like turns, and with that thing on the back, it's no bueno. No good. So we got 18 liters left, but there is a gas tank straight ahead that we can use to fill up. So that'll be good. You can easily turn your truck over right back there. You saw the bricks almost coming out of the trailer. And usually if it's a muddy area like this, I try to skirt the left or right side if there's a truck, or if there is a tree that we can grab onto. Get in there. The winch is your best friend, especially starting out, trying to get up hills and stuff. There we go. Making good progress. So I think we just have 3 or 4 more upgrades and 3 watchtowers to get to. But then we have the 2 trucks. But we're doing this without having to get this first task completed, which are, you know, the fallen power line and the bridge that's out and stuff like that. So it's probably the quickest way to get to all of the stuff. But actually, you can get the upgrades, I think all of them, and all of the watchtowers without going to the garage first. So within that tutorial mission area, you can go ahead and get all of this before going to the garage if you want to. Plus you can sell a whole lot of the trailers and stuff like that and make some good money and be on your way to, if you wanted to sell some trucks and buy the International Paystar, which is one of the best trucks you can get starting out. Alright, so we're going to take a left here. Go ahead and delete the former lines that we had drawn. Notice the gas tank's getting down to 8. Pretty low. That's okay though. There is a gas container right there on the other side of this. We should get XP for finding it too. Or not. Okay. Let's refuel. There you go. Let's take a look at our map. The upgrade is right up here, and I found that the best way to get to it is across closest to the gas station. And I'll show you the best route that I've found to get to it. This area is pretty muddy, so I like to stay in the grassy area to get by. Not too far in. So you might hit a stump accidentally. Alright. Once we get a little bit closer here, right here we get a detached trailer. Let's take a look at the map. And we're gonna go this way to get to this upgrade. And it's really important that you know where this upgrade is, because it's easy to get turned around in this area. So that's why I recommend going ahead and getting the watchtower first. Back in here. Let's go out the same way that we came. back up. I want to go in the water yet. At least not without more upgrades to this truck. Because this truck can become really powerful, but right now it's not to that point. It's a Snowrunner gearbox customized for better off-road performance, sacrificing gear count, top speed, and fuel efficiency, but offering 3 low gear stages. And this can be used for the Chevy and the Con 39 Marshall, plus the Scout 800 that we're about to pick up. So basically any of the Scout vehicles it can be used for. And it really comes in handy. So that's a great upgrade kit. Because you can put your, once you put your gearbox in low, you have the opportunity to use it in like low mode, low, medium, or high gear, and it really helps out a ton. This is the way that we came. Be careful straight ahead. Once you get to the weeds that are cattails, the purple ones right up there, they're great for survival reasons if you need to build some easy campfire. But once you get to them when you're driving, it means you're in the water area. It's not as good. Yeah, I love a good survival show like Dual Survival or Survivor Man, things like that. It's my favorite shows like that. They always talk about how beneficial finding those cattails are, because you can split them open and use it for easy, more easily build a fire with that kind of stuff because it catches on fire pretty easy. Or you can burn it and make like burnt charcoal mixed with that, and it makes really good tinder for building a fire. So once we get up this hill, we have the gas station to your right. We got that, and then we might take this down to the barn or the farm area and get the remaining watchtowers, since we said we were going to do that in this episode. It's nice having this out of the way. Almost out of the way at least. Once we get to the gas station, I'll fill up, and I'm going to look at our contracts to see which contract it was that needs 2 loads of brick. That way we can go ahead and just bring it over there. And even though we might not be able to finish that contract just now, we could at least have it parked there and make it easier later on. Filled up. Let's open our map here. Alright, so we got farming tools. That's an easy one to get to. We're looking for any contract that requires brick. I don't see it just yet. Okay. The essentials, it needs 2 loads of brick. So let's go ahead and, I knew that was one that was coming up. Let's go ahead and take these to the farm. That way we don't have to backtrack for the essentials contract. Might be able to get the wet harvest and essentials contracts for the farm done real quick. This could be our first 2 if we wanted to. So if you take a left here, you can go back to the garage. We're going to go this area. I generally like to drive on either far left or far right to avoid driving straight down the middle of the mud. This little something that helps me out. Maybe it can help you out too. I actually cross here and park this somewhere like right here. We'll come back for it. I think what we'll do for this episode is get the 2 remaining watchtowers, and we'll call it a video. One of those is across the way, and I'd feel better if we actually waited on that one till the next video and just got this one first. That would work out better for us. Alright, show task. There's a place in the mountains not far away that has the most stunning views. I like to relax there from time to time. Why don't you take a look? Just try not to destroy everything getting out there. Get $1,050 and 60 XP. And if you look at where it's taking us, there's a watchtower right next to it. So let's go ahead and accept that. If you were to go up there and not accept that task, where we are right here, you won't be able to finish that one. So that can be frustrating. So anytime you see a task or a contract out where you can accept it, go ahead and do so. Contracts you can accept from your main menu, your map menu, but tasks you have to be at the place where it originates and start it there. That could lead to some frustration if you're not careful. Going back here. And although the Scout 800 is a really good scout vehicle, it has a tendency to flip a lot easier than this Chevy CK1500. Not saying that this one doesn't flip, because it obviously does, but it flips a lot less than the Scout 800. But one thing that the Scout has for it is that it's a vehicle that has diff lock on, so it gets better traction and control a lot easier. So, thought we'd be able to see the watchtower. It's just right up to the right. Yeah, you can barely see it right now in that tree. So that means we're not too far away from the place beyond the spot, the pines. Let's launch observation. We can see now if we go to task, place beyond the spruces, not pines. It's a play on place beyond the pines, the movie. So we got that, and it's just right up here. And we set it as our current task that we're working on. Let's flip there. Wasn't paying attention and just went too far. I mean, just takes 1 second or two of not paying attention and you're flipped. Of course, even if you are paying attention, you easily flip. Rocks to pass by, and we'll be able to turn up to the left. I appreciate you watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a subscription or a thumbs up. It helps me know that you like the content that you're watching. Okay, this is the place right up there that we're going. Let's see if we can turn our truck where it's a little easier to get up to. grab onto that tree. And that's one of the best ways to get up this hill. And then once you get up further enough, you can attach to that one across the way. And that's how I've been getting up this way. Instead of trying to just go straight forward a little bit. Had pretty good success with it so far. Now let's pull up. Try not to mess up the tree, or the chair and the barbecue. There we go. This spot is beautiful, ain't it? Yeah, it is. Really beautiful. Alright, let's try to get back down. Bounce. Too much difficulty, hopefully. So far, so good. So let's go ahead and back out. And we're going to go back to the garage, meaning in the next video we'll pick up that last remaining watchtower and the 2 vehicles that we can pick up for free. One of which is a lot easier than the other one. So not only that, but we have a couple more upgrades. I think we just have 2 more upgrades. 2 trucks. And 1 observation. So, or 1 watchtower. So I feel good about what we've got done. How much money do we have? You can see that by going to your pressing the down diagonal and looking at your player or your driver. So you have 1,400, not enough to really do much with. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to drive back to the garage right now. So when we get back to the main road, I'll call it a video. But again, thank you so much for watching. It means a whole lot to me. And this is a game that I love playing. Love it. It's fun. So expect more videos, and I apologize for the delay between the first video and this video. But thanks for sticking in there with me. Say we filling up to it. Let's say we get this last remaining watchtower, or at least get closer to it. It's saying that for the mountain bridge we need 1 metal beam. We can get a trailer with the Fleet Star or GNC and take care of bringing a whole lot of metal beams. And they're, like we were seeing on our map, the left on this one, there's a trailer with 4 concrete blocks in it. So instead of having to go to the warehouse for those, we can just use that. That'll work out in our favor. Go ahead and turn our fog lights on. It's one of the few things in the that little maintenance area. Like, if you get your main stuff, like your tires and stuff like that, you can switch over to customize. With this, like the secondary stuff, it's one of the few secondary things actually, you know, is worth getting. Fortunately. getting pretty late. Let's see what time it is. Alright, let's go ahead and fast forward to morning time, let our guy sleep for the night. As crazy as it might seem, it seems like they drive a little bit better or faster when you let them go home for the night. It's just probably in the head. I don't know. So we'll fill up by the gas station and go into town and get the last upgrade that you can see, if I'm not mistaken, and then there's a hidden one that's not located on the map. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so we gotta get this watchtower, and there's a upgrade right up here. But as far as other upgrades, we've gotten them all that are listed. Yeah. But there's one right about there that's not listed. And so we'll get that one also. So, like I said in the last video, you don't have to really go to that detour. Oh man, I've never seen it shoot off like that. You can go straight across this whole area. One thing I do wish you could do is upgrade the roads so that the stuff like that would be fixed eventually. I think, you know, that's probably my number one upgrade if they had asked me. Be able to fix the roads, like the potholes and things like that, or areas that you drive down a whole lot, you can make them into roads. Like gravel at first, bring enough material, make them a paved road. I think that would be really cool. Either that or just a radio station that you can customize and put your own music into and stuff. That would be handy. But I've never actually seen another living person in these houses. I've only heard dogs, so I assume that there are living people and this isn't the apocalypse or something like that. Or maybe everyone's inside because they have COVID or something. But it would be nice to see some sign of life other than just hearing the dog. Maybe we can see the dog, or maybe that's the wolf that we see every once in a while. I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe so. So the upgrade is right up here to the right. The reason I'm going this way is so that we can pick up the Scout 800 and get to the last watchtower and just try to do as much as possible while we can. Alright, upgrade location discovered. Get a AAT 8V 2.2 5.2 custom engine for the Chevy 50K 1500. Sorry. So now we just select the Scout 800, this last remaining watchtower, and then the next video we'll start conquering or taking on some of the tasks like the bridge that needs to be worked on. We're also going to try to get that other vehicle, that Chevy Kodiak C70, so that we can start using that too. So there is actually a shortcut that you can take to get to the Scout 800 and not have to go all the way up the hill. Because if you want to, let's see, you could go all the way back down to the boathouse and have to take like all the curvy hill and roads to get up to where the Scout 800 is. But I want to show you a shortcut that I've found that really is worth it, so you don't have to drive as much. It's at the top of this hill. Instead of going right here, so you can see, like, you'd have to go down and climb your way back all the way. So you can go up this hill and around this rock here. Like that. And you're at the top of the hill where the CK, not the CK-1500, the Scout 800 is. Isn't that cool? Well worth it. Because this truck is awesome. It's almost, I think it has div lock on, or diff lock on all the time. So worth it. And it's a neat truck. Here it is. New truck discovered, Scout 800, 100 XP. Look at the wheels, they already sunk down in the back in the mud. So, that's pretty cool. What we're going to do is attach the winch to the back. Get a better winch on this. Like that. No, still not. So let's go ahead and do it manually, like that. But this way we don't have to make the same trip twice. By attaching it to the back of this truck. But I love this truck so much. You can do a lot of your scouting in this and not have, you know, as many problems as you might with the CK-1500. But it is pretty top heavy and it can flip pretty easy. So that's one reason that I stick with the Chevy. If you want to, we can go back the same way that we came. Like this. Just gotta be really careful not to flip. That way you could bypass having to go down the hills where it's pretty tight at certain places with the rocks. So, something I would recommend doing. And now we could just go straight here, which will take us to where that watchtower is. But before doing that, I'm going to release the winch and go down to the boathouse so that we could look and see what this task has to offer. New objective discovered, Riverside repair. Still river here. Our river fleet was badly damaged and the only person who can help us is all out of equipment. Can you supply our guy with the tools he needs to patch us up? $1,600, 180 XP. And they need 2 wooden planks, 2 service spare parts. I think we can do that. Let's go ahead and accept it. The reason I went ahead and accepted that is so that we know exactly how much wood and everything we need to bring to that fella. Because it always seems like he's the last one that I need to bring stuff to and I always forget what he needs. So that just helps me out. Alright, let's back up again. Get this manually winched onto us. Let's see. And we'll get this last watchtower. And on our way back, we'll pick up the, I believe, the last upgrade I think that's all the upgrades that we have. So that's perfect. We did a lot more in this video than I thought we could, so that's great. Really good. As you can see, our Chevy would have given us a lot more difficulty getting through this area than the Scout does. Like so. And this is the last watchtower in this first map. We've been promoted to rank 3. Drainage discovered, stuck trailer discovered, watchtower open. So now that we're new objective discovered, now that we're rank 3, there's a couple more things that we could buy and customize our trucks with. Mainly, I think it's tires, if I remember correctly. You get the all-terrain tires. Those will come in handy, for sure. If you were to do this before, like in the tutorial area, when you go right here to go back downtown, it would be blocked off, and you have to find an alternate route to get back there. Not too big of a deal, but it's kind of a nuisance. I think that's probably why I waited for the second video to get this. We're going to go down to where where you can start the rock slide task. That's on this side. And that's right up here to the left, so that we know how much it requires. Yeah, you see where the orange cones are up there? You'd have some concrete blocks there blocking the way if you were to do this before the tutorial. So evidently that got fixed. We've got a rock slide problem. They keep knocking out our infrastructure, but we don't have the right resources to stop them. We should be grateful if you could take a look. $1,600, 180 XP. So, why don't we say we look at the details? We got one metal beam and one metal part that it needs to fix that. So let's go ahead and accept it. Alright, so now we got that. We know exactly how much it has to fix it. We're going to go back down to where the lumber mill is, so that we can get to that last upgrade. And then we'll take both of these vehicles back to the main garage. And call it a video then. But I'm really thankful that we were able to do these extra things. It makes the next one a whole lot easier. In fact, we'll probably target getting that extra, the last remaining truck, as the first thing we do when we start our next video. So we could go to the left there, and you see the trailer off in the distance that has all of the service parts on it. We could use that for a lot of these upgrades that are contracts or tasks that we need to take care of. So this one that we're going to is a contract or a upgrade that's not listed on the map, but it's one that will help us raise our fleet start, have a raise suspension on that. So it's really important that we get it. We could just leave the Chevy CK1500 kind of waiting by the entrance of the lumber mill. Yeah. Bouncing all over the place. Look at that. It's crazy. Let's pull up a little bit. Relax. So now we can tackle this last remaining upgrade. it's not too bad to get to. Just gotta cross over some water to get to it. And since it's not listed on the map, you might not know this is here, but it's one of the most helpful upgrades. Especially if you plan to use the Fleet Star like we do. The Fleet Star will be our go-to vehicle for moving stuff. And it was the truck that we painted orange in the garage. Good old UT orange. And that is the upgrade right up here. Right here. Race suspension for the Fleet Star 2078. Fine to do. So let's go back the way we came, grab our Chevy, and head back to the garage. Sounds like a game plan. Yeah, that rain seems to come every time we have to do something a little bit more tricky than normal. Usually the rain and like the music that they play every once in a while. It's like they know you're gonna have some difficulty with it, so they start playing that. Sweet. That wasn't too hard. Knock on wood. Yeah, we made a lot of progress. Got all the watchtowers, all the upgrades, and one of the trucks. So this leaves that one truck, and then we can tackle the task and random contracts and stuff. Especially now that we have the bricks, when we picked up that extra trailer. Which makes me want to leave one of the scout vehicles by the farm, so that we can knock out that one for that that contract, because we'd have to go back with the scout vehicle anyway in order to attach it to the trailer, because you can't just winch onto it and accept the load that we brought. As nice as that would be awesome. Hey, sorry about that. I had stopped the video for a little bit and drove off and forgot to start recording again. But what we're gonna do is make our way back to the farm. And I'll drop off the Chevy here so that we can finish that task, which is like the wet harvest or something like that for the farm. And then we'll drive this truck back to the garage. We'll get that taken care of. Sorry about that. I'm glad I noticed when I did. We didn't get too far away. So, but let me know in the comment sections, kind of like your thoughts as to the best way to tackle the next part, because I've struggled just about every time I've tried to get the Kodiak out of the mud and out of that lake. So leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your best method. Do you use a crane to pull that thing out, or do you use a winch to pull it out? Do you go ahead and fix it so that it can drive itself out? I'd love to know your comments for what you would recommend me do to pull the Chevy Kodiak out of the lake so that we can use it. It's getting late in the day, but I feel good about all the stuff that we got done in this video. I had really only planned to get a couple of the watchtowers, but not only did we get all the watchtowers, but we got all the upgrades too. And we got the Scout 800. Next video we'll get the Chevy Kodiak and hopefully 2 contracts, maybe a couple of tasks also. But I love this game. I've played hours on hours of it, and so this is one that I'll start producing more often. I'm sorry it's been so long since the first video came out, but I wanted to make sure that I did this before I did any other Fallout 4 videos. So I've got another Fallout 4 video in the wings waiting to upload, but I wanted to make sure that Snowrunner was taken care of also. Hopefully that makes sense. Didn't want to do Fallout 4 and completely forget about Snowrunner, basically. But we're almost there, making good progress. We're a level 3 driver right now. 4 of 8 vehicles, 8 out of 26 watchtowers, 7 out of 21 upgrades. That's within Michigan. So about a third of the way through all of those categories, except the vehicles. I think we're half the way on that one. I think we have, since we got the raised suspension for the Chevy Kodiak, or not the Kodiak, for the CK 1500, we might be able to purchase one for the this International Scout 800. Which reminds me, I think we got another engine upgrade for this Chevy, so I might take it back to the garage instead of leaving it here for right now. That way we can have all of our trucks back at the garage at one time. That makes more sense to me. Even though we only have like $1,400 to do any upgrades, we've unlocked some for free. It's pretty nice. We should be able to get this done before the end of the workday too. I like giving our driver some time to go home with his wife and family and eat some dinner, things like that. It's right over the water here, North Home Free. Really appreciate you sticking in there with me and watching this video. As far as my preference for how we get the Kodiak out, what I'm probably going to do is bring a maintenance trailer and fix it and put a little bit of gas in there so that it'll help us when we're trying to drive back to the garage with it. We don't run out of gas so easily. Maybe even start using it to start loading things. So that's probably the way I prefer to do it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is a crane the best way to take care of it? Maybe so. Alright, we'll move both of these into the garage and see what upgrades we got for them. Let's move this one first. We're going to move these over. So the first one we'll do is the Chevy here. Then we'll do the Scout. We'll keep all of our Scout vehicles together. With the Chevy and the Fleet Star. And then we can put the Chevy Kodiak in this slot. Alright. So we did get some upgrades. See what we got. We got the engine upgrade, that will take our power to weight ratio from a C plus to A minus at the cost of fuel consumption. That's okay though. Got the Snowrunner gearbox. Already had the raised suspension. No, okay, we didn't unlock any tires. We do that in rank 4. Thought we did. I really want to save up for this autonomous scout. It's a lifesaver. Could do some repair supplies. Really need that snorkel also. I'm actually going to paint the truck this brighter red instead of that one. I think it looks sharper. Alright, let's go to customize this. We don't have enough money for the gearbox just yet. And the raised suspension we have not found, but it's not on this first map. We really need to save up for some new tires. So there's a lot of money that we need to save up to use to buy some of this stuff for sure. Alright, so what do you say a nice blue or teal for this truck? We could do a green like that. You do the Mountain Dew green or the kind of forest green? I'm leaning towards this one right here. So got those two. That. Alright. Didn't we get a raised suspension? Yep. For the Fleet Star. And a better engine for it. It moves our power to weight ratio to S instead of A+. Which means we could get better tires if we wanted to, since we raised our suspension. Really needed a snorkel for all of our trucks. Of course, we need some frame add-ons. About this. Yep, we need to upgrade this engine also. Everything else right now looks good on that. We have the Snowrunner capability for that too. So that's a good place to stop for this video. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, I greatly appreciate you watching and your support. And I will catch you in the next video when we tackle getting the Chevy Kodiak out of the lake. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.